Yeah, we need to take Flat Jeremy like everywhere.
Well, it just shouldn't be a thing, right?
Why isn't Jeremy ever going?
That's why I should just
That's
be
the bigger
there.
problem.
I should always just print one out and just have it in
Just
like my
have it
back
in your
pocket
truck,
and
yeah.
as
Have it in your
needed.
back
Just
pocket.
Jeremy's here. Did you say hi to Jeremy?
I feel like Jeremy's wife was like, "No, this maybe isn't for you."
Can you put that away?
In fact, you're not going. Only I am.
I don't want to get away from my husband. So
I got a teacher thing. Special pens,
Oh,
Ink Joy or Flare Tip. That's what she said.
flare pens. Oh, my wife talks about flare pens all the time.
I just know pens is a thing. I don't know what the types are.
Ask her about the flare pens.
Okay.
Flare pens are a thing. That's a teacher thing.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Specific
I guess.
mechanical pencils and Mr. Sketch markers. Well, they smell
The smelly ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, they're so good.
Well,
All
I
right.
couldn't even tell you.
Okay, sounds like
Okay.
we're on the same
We got
teacher
that.
thing.
I get
page
it.
Going.
She's rolling.
Teacher things.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Teacher Husbands podcast. This is episode number 5, still unnamed. We will figure that out as we go on.
I feel like we should be more professional and just like assume that like we've already got it done. Like this is, and then we could pause and then add that
And
in
then
later.
add it in. No.
Like in a completely different voice.
I think yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, and just put it right in.
I
This
think we
sounds
do.
good.
I think we're doing it the right way.
I
because
think so too.
I'd be surprised if a lot of people think of the names beforehand, or they kind of just like, because I think it takes away from your flow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
way
if you're
more
trying to-
creative, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, most places are. It's like episode 765. You're like, ugh, you remember that one, but you remember some of the ones that we did. I definitely can remember them off the top of my head. So I married a teacher.
That's pretty good.
That's a good
Not
one.
too bad.
So
All I think of is, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
but
you
that's
did.
not that one, but that's not the name of the title. So, yeah. So, well, yeah, we're end of April here about. And Sunday, well, let's just start with that. Sunday, you guys went to a comedy show
Yeah.
that my wife was at, and your wife was at, and
Yeah,
your
we saw
wife
her. We
was
hung
at,
out.
The wives were there.
and I was not.
Yeah. We didn't even bring Flat Jeremy.
We did not.
Should-
So the Bored Teachers comedy show came to town. And I guess the premise is what? They're all still teachers? Or did they say, like,
It seemed like they
they're
were.
all, like,
Some of them were.
or previously?
Yeah, like because the last guy he said he
I
was,
think, yeah,
he was
he's
done.
just,
He's
yeah.
just done.
But
Okay.
the first two, they seem like they're still teaching.
Correct. Yeah.
So yeah. So
So teachers or
remember.
previous teachers, let's just say that,
There you go.
that are stand-up comedy or comedians, and they just kind of been touring. It's actually getting kind of big. I've started following it since
I
we
saw
started
some
to
of
do that.
that.
It
There's-
I mean, it was
packed in
sold
there.
out, wasn't it? I think
For
it was
sure.
sold
it
out.
sold out this show, sold out the show before that, the show before that. And now they're planning another tour. They're going to like Canada, and then after that, I guess they're going overseas even. So kudos to them for making it that far. That's cool.
That's pretty good.
I wonder if the teachers, same things are funny over in.
I
over
would
in
think,
Europe than
I
they are
would
here.
think that's pretty universal to a degree, for sure. But yeah, it was funny because I mean, I've known about it for months because Anne has had tickets with her teaching partner for whenever they went on sale. Basically, her teaching partner went and bought them, and so I didn't think much about it. I was like, oh, it's fine, because in the back of my head, I was like, well, it might be good to go to. I mean, strictly for the podcast, I was like, okay, this could be pretty good. Like, who knows? And then what was it? Even like a couple weeks ago, we were talking about it, and you guys were like, "Oh yeah, we're going. We got tickets." I'm like, "What?"
I guess we forgot to invite you.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just the funny thing of like, oh, I didn't really think.
But
that
didn't
it
you
would
ask
really-
Ann? And she was like,
Well, yeah. So I asked her, and I said, hey, I said, Jason and Kyle are going. Like their wives are going. Like, and she said to me, she's like, I just don't think I think you will be annoyed by it. And so I want to go on record and saying like, I think she's probably right. Like, I think you guys probably had a good time, but like, I'm so like hypercritical of that kind of stuff where I feel like if it's too like on the nose maybe, or too, I don't know, too annoying. I think she said it exactly right. Like if I'm like, okay, this is kind of funny, but more annoying than funny, then I'd be like checked out. So-
it seemed to be like a whole room of people that were like in on the joke. And then there were some husbands there that were like, Okay. Yeah, that's
Right.
funny.
I thought being married to a teacher, I thought I knew everything there was
Sure.
to it, and you guys have been married longer than I have, so I thought you guys would even appreciate that even more. And I was the one that didn't get stuff, but there was things
I
that
think
came
Jason's
up.
only one that pays attention to his wife.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Hey,
All right, here we go.
getting you guys in
I
trouble.
mean, their job's great. Yeah. Why did I say that out loud? That was not very smart.
Well, so give me, if you can think of it, like give me an example of something that you would be like, oh, I didn't really think that was a thing, or I don't know. Like, it's funny because it's like, okay, obviously with like any comedy show, they're gonna like take the smallest thing of anything that's ever happened, and they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna blow it up, and this will be really funny. But yeah, I don't know, like what I could glean from that as far as like, oh, this is kind of funny or this is kind of interesting. Because she said it was really good, but it's like obviously if she'd come back and she was like, oh, it was the greatest thing ever, and all, then I would have been like, all right, well, shoot, I should have been there.
sad.
Yeah.
But it was like, she was like, yeah, it was pretty good, and I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Was there something that you stuck out there? Were like, oh, that's a teacher.
I couldn't remember
Gamer.
specifically like anything that kind of jumped out to me that was, but there was so many little jokes that like, she would laugh and I was just kind of like, ha ha ha.
I tell you, there was one. I could think of one that stood out to me. It was towards the end, and that I didn't know it was a thing, and I found out from Leslie that it definitely is a thing, and that's the cumulative folders.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
But cumulative is a long word,
Sure.
so they abbreviate it
Okay.
to maybe like the first couple letters of that word.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And to the outsider, i.e., me, I might think that was something else that they were talking about, but it's pronounced cum folders. And
It's
I
not
was like,
spelled
Yeah, we got the spelling.
and
Got
that's the
it.
thing apparently that they write all the time.
They write it internally. They must write it
Yeah.
internally.
Oh, to other teachers, here's their
Sure.
E-
Here's their
emails.
cum
And he-
folders.
and he
Okay.
the comedian talked about this. He's like, they're sending this email back and forth with this word,
Yeah.
in all caps, back and forth, and
And I feel like if I would have wrote that at my work,
Oh,
I wouldn't be working at my work. There would be, why do you have that folder on your computer? So anyway, you get the drift. But
It's like-
I was like, what?
One of
That's
those,
not a real
one
thing.
of those
I'm
hidden
looking
folders, right?
I'm
Yeah.
looking at Leslie like, that's not
That's
real.
not-
She's like, oh yeah, it is. She's like, I never even thought of that. I'm like, okay.
Right, they've
Did
been
you
holding
not
out on us.
think of
Even
that.
April was the same. I looked over as soon as he said it. I looked at her, and she knew exactly where he was going with that, and I was just like, "Where was this? This
What?
content
Yeah.
could have been very helpful to us." In episodes 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was completely taken aback at that humor. Probably the hardest I laughed at the whole thing. It was pretty hilarious the way that they positioned it. I was like, true. Any other workplace, you writing about that kind of folder, and you're going to have a conversation with an HR rep. So
Mhm.
Right.
that was pretty funny. But
Wow. Huh.
I mean,
yeah.
but that's because I'm basically a child.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So, but it was. I mean, there was some good, funny stories involved in that. I think it was overall it was a good show. Again, it just I didn't get all of it, but
Yeah.
it's to be expected.
Correct.
But there were some teachers that were rolling.
Oh,
They all seemed to. They were in on the joke. They all were.
Okay. Yeah, I bet.
And they
I
all
bet
seem
that's
to have
gonna
a
be the case.
blast, so.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Huh. Yeah. I mean, I think I felt okay. I think I felt okay missing out. I felt okay until your wife, until Leslie started texting me. But then I don't remember what I said to her. I think I said like shots fired or out. Or
Yeah,
something like
right.
that. And instantly, because I knew, having known her for so long, I knew she would respond back and feel bad.
Yeah.
Even though it was
Yeah,
such a
right.
joke,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was just like, oh no, I'm sorry. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, of course I don't care.
I
But-
think she was with Ann right then. She'd come to
Yes.
see us, and she said
Yeah.
it right then and there. So
Because then I texted Ann and I said, hey, I said Leslie's saying that you said I shouldn't come at all, and she's like, what? That's a lie. That was so funny. I was like trying to find where she
Yeah.
said that, but
yeah, there was
yeah.
shots fired. I remember seeing that going. Yep.
Leslie is telling me that you told her you tried to get me to come. She is a liar, LOL. I do feel a little bad. That's what she said. I'm like, I'm sure it'd be fun, but I also do think it might be annoying. That's all I said to her. So yeah. So that was just
Do you
that
mean
was the
that
only part.
she's trying to get you to cume?
Yeah.
Came to the comedy show.
Oh, but well, it's funny because like we were talking about like that's a teacher thing that we didn't know about, and so it was funny we were talking about this before. Like Jason brought this up, and I think it's a good thought, a good segment to think about is like teacher things. Like what are things that our wives do that are strictly a teacher thing, like things
So,
that
like characteristics.
a characteristic of how they go about whatever their classroom, how they teach, what they do, the things that they get that are specifically a teacher thing. So I think your first one is a good way to start for sure.
So what made me even think of this in the first place was one of the comedians was talking about their merch booth, and everybody should go get T-shirts and this and that. And he hit on the fact that they had stickers, and he made a comment. Teachers love stickers, and those that know April loves stickers.
Yeah.
So got me thinking there. Hey, maybe that's a teacher thing. So that's one thing I wanted to bring up. And that we can discuss. Like, so is that a teacher thing, or is that just a my wife thing?
Well,
I don't know.
For Leslie, I think she likes the little small ones to put like as decorations on little stuff. She's not getting anything fancy probably, but she'll buy a whole sheet of them so she could just blink, 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 blink.
And she's using them for like tests or something.
Yeah, or
putting
like
them-
grading, like
the,
great
the
job,
little
or-
ones or
yes.
whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
See, and I
Plus
think
whatever.
it's like I would rather like I did this for the kids too. Like it's not stickers, but like with the whole Crocs now with the I think we
Giblets.
talked about before with the giblets or giblets with an L.
they called giblets?
Gibbet.
Croc
No,
giblets?
gibbet.
Oh,
gibbet.
Giblets. That's what you
Turkey
make gravy
giblets.
with, I think.
Yeah.
I call them giblets. Whatever.
Yeah, giblets is good. But like, so I went online and just bought like 100 pack of gibbets from Temu
Whoa.
for $9 or whatever. And literally, there's just all kinds of crap that comes in it. But it's like that's the kind of stickers that like Anne would like to get too, where it's like, who knows what they are? They're just gonna come as this big pack of like teacher stickers.
That's flair.
And it is flair. That's all it is. Is
Yeah,
flair.
teacher flair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We could go with a little bit of a
So we could broaden that instead of stickers. We could just call it teacher flair. That's a
it's
teacher
definitely
thing.
teacher flair. But that's the thing. I don't know if it's a teacher thing because, with the water bottles, like people used to do that all the time, putting stickers all over their water bottles, or they still do.
Well, I mean, I didn't think it at first, but now that I think every one of Leslie's water bottles is packed with stickers. Like every one of them has a ton
correct
on there. So yeah, and she is buying them, I guess, specifically to put. Oh, this is a cool one. I'll put this on there. So
Correct. Yeah.
now that you mention it, maybe that is a teacher
I'll tell you.
thing.
I'll tell you.
Or is it just trying to be them trying to be cool, like the
maybe like
the college
like the
kids?
little ones. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you. April will go. We go to quite a few concerts, shows, things like that, and the conversation that comes up every single time at the merch table is, "Do you guys have stickers?" And the majority of the bands don't carry stickers anymore.
Yeah.
And she's so disappointed and let down because none of the bands have stickers. And when they do have stickers, she's like the happiest, like better than even watching
Yeah.
the show. She got a sticker to walk away from that. And it was like, that's her thing. Now, does she stick them on things? She does stick them on certain things, but there's a lot of stickers that she has, just a collection of stickers
Yeah.
that are not stuck to anything, but she has it and she's happy about it and she loves it. So that's kind of made me just think if that was a teacher thing. So that's why I wanted to bring it
But
up.
see, that would be so good. Like if she had like a Slipknot or Primus sticker on her water bottle,
Nirvana,
and her
she probably
kids are
already
like,
does.
"What is that?" Like, "Oh, yeah, here, let me play this for you."
She does actually.
That'd be fun. The kids can say to her, "We'll name 3 songs," and she'd be like,
She could.
"Okay."
She's all which album?
Which
do you want me to
album?
go
Which
do you
album do you
want?
want 3 songs off of? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, definitely, there's an element of it that's definitely a teacher thing where it's like, okay, so we were just talking about before. It's like, especially with the planners. So
Yes.
like their whole life is in that planner. Like me, my whole life is in my phone. Like I put everything in there. I put the calendar in there. I've got tasks. I've got reminders, all that kind of stuff. It's all written down for Anne. Everything is written down. And it's not just school stuff. It's home stuff.
Right.
It's budget stuff.
In a
It's
planner?
In the planner.
Oh.
It's weekly, like,
Hmm.
oh, here's what's going on at home. Here's the calendar. Here's what I have going on. and it's all written in the planner, even though it's on my phone, on her phone, on the fridge, on the digital thing on the fridge. It's all there, but she has to write it. And then she orders this planner every single year, which is customized.
Yep.
Exactly how she
Yep.
wants.
Like a designer
Designer planner, picking the front cover. It's got her name on the front.
Gucci or
Not that far.
Prada.
It is okay.
Chanel,
I don't know how much it cost. I don't know.
the Prada planner.
It could
It's
be.
it's those Prada prices.
Yes.
Nope, that's definitely a teacher thing. April's the same way. She orders a planner every year, and it's from a name brand. Like I wouldn't know, but like this might be something the comedy show would know. Like you could say it, and they would know exactly what she's talking about. But saying it is completely customized, has her name on it, has like the pages can be separated out, and like she can put the dividers how she wants them. And April is very, very analog. I will tell you that. So kind of to your point, I could send her, a calendar invite. I could put this and that, but no, she has to write it in there, and that's how she plans. I don't know if you remember me talking about like the calendar that we have on the fridge. She takes it straight from the planner as she planned it out, or plans it back and forth. So she'll write things back and forth that way. But it's in this planner. She's got these completely custom planners. It's her own planner. I guess that's good. And she'll never confuse it with anybody else.
That seems right. Leslie's probably very analog, isn't she too? Or not really?
No, she's pretty digital when it comes to calendar stuff.
Okay.
But I don't know that she has a planner. She's more like, I'll build it myself, like with a binder. She's going to a retreat this weekend, and she built this whole binder for this whole weekend of different songs because she's leading the songs there. But she likes to build. I think that's part of her thing is she likes to build it. She has like binders and binders and binders. And I think she likes to put it all together. I don't really want to tell her that. Maybe she already knows. If other people already know this, I'm sure that's probably a thing. But because I'm thinking maybe she'd get way into it too. She'd be like, oh, I'm going to order this or that. The Gucci deluxe model.
Well, I was just thinking, just based on her age, she was analog, but I'm sure why I left that in there. I don't know. I'll just get in trouble.
Yeah,
with
that's
her.
great.
It's fine.
Yeah. See if you get invited to anything else.
That's right.
She'll just apologize.
Love
later.
you, Leslie. It's good. It's fine. Yeah, but yeah, no, it is. Yeah, I mean, because I go through literally the whole week or the month, and we plan out the month, and I put it into my Google Calendar, and she'll write it down, and then she'll have the monthly thing, and then she'll also write it down in the week of like, this is the week, but then this is also the month. It's a lot of writing that I just
you
don't
guys like plan out your month?
Yeah,
and stuff.
Meals just for the week.
No.
Oh. What's that like?
We try.
That's good.
Because all we do is just end up going out and eating.
All I do, I just get told where to be. It's like, here. And I sent you a calendar invite, and don't tell me you didn't see it because it's on your calendar. I'm like, oh, yeah, there it is.
That's what I'm saying. I can just look at the fridge. It's on there.
It's on there.
So I know.
That's what we do too.
Do you get to add things to the calendar, or are you just told? Because I pretty much just get told, and then I have to ask, and then it's like enacting law in Congress to go through the, to make sure that everybody's on board with whatever.
I know, like the best part is like, okay, tonight's episode recording, like calendar invite, Kyle, Jason, Jeremy, Leslie.
Right, that's what it should be. She's all copy me on everything.
Every time she's like, she is CC'd on this, okay, and accept. It's
no. I make her out to be worse than she is.
No, we know that. We probably all do that. That's the funny thing. Yeah. So
pretty much do what I want, and then I ask for forgiveness later. So
there you go. Yeah. No, we definitely plan our weekly meals out because all we do is just spend too much money if we don't do that.
Yeah, I just do that thing.
Oh, yeah.
That spends too much money.
We try.
Or like,
trying
what do you guys want tonight? Let's just go. Oh, we'll go buy
this
white people taco night. Yeah, we'll buy that tonight. And then
right, we don't go that far. I'm talking about like planning ahead is more like events.
Yeah, we definitely do that for the month.
Yeah, but
for the week we plan out the meals for the week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I wish you could say I did either of those, but I don't.
Nope. Okay. Yeah.
Nope.
All right.
Like I said, April's very analog, and to get her on tech, like it was bad enough to get her with their school just barely got the boards, the smart boards.
Yeah.
And so she had to learn all of that. And so she was freaking out about that. Here's a teacher thing. Tell me if this is a teacher thing or not. Acronyms. for random things like
For sure.
like so April came up when all this stuff was coming out and like having to get the kids on Chromebooks and this and that. She came up with the acronym TMT. Do you know what that stands
Too much
for?
time.
I don't know. Nope.
too much time. Nope. Too
much tech.
much tech. Yeah. Okay. I see that.
So that became a thing. So now when when I'm over doing something on my phone, did you get this? Did you do that? She goes, nope. She goes, that's TMT.
Yes.
Too much tech.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's good. That is a teacher thing. The acronyms. I don't know that she's made up her own ones, but she'll spit out those acronyms left and right. Like I know what she's saying. And I just smile and nod. Yeah. I can't believe that.
That's right. Well, speaking of acronyms, CMAS,
Oh yeah.
NWEA. That's right. Yeah. So CMAS is done but not done, right?
It's done except for people taking late tests or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they do this in all grade levels, or is it just
third
elementary?
through 8th, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So nothing lower than third.
They don't do it in high school. I was thinking they did in
I think high school
High
they do.
school
other
Maybe it's just
testing.
8th.
Yeah,
They do a different testing, and then they start the PSAT and that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then they get real advanced.
So yeah, that's the thing. Until this year, we didn't have anything to do with CMAS. A little bit because my daughter, of course, was taking it for the last couple of years. But as far as like from the teacher side, like proctoring and all that kind of stuff, she didn't have anything because she just moved into 3rd grade this year. So
Yeah.
I felt like it went okay, but it's one of those things where it's like you definitely talk to them. It's like, okay, now it's a full day of this, and I'm just standing around watching, and I can't do anything else except watch them.
Or help them at all, or tell
Or
them how
nothing
to
at
scroll
all.
down if they need
And then
to.
we had that too, where basically the teaching partner of my wife, of Anne, her daughter is in Anne's class. So basically the mom couldn't be even in the same grade level of the daughter, just in case there might be some kind of cross contamination thing.
Interesting.
So she it's not definitely not the right word. So she had to
Coercion.
move. She had to move up to 4th grade because the 4th grade teacher, his daughter, is in 4th grade. So he had to move down to 3rd grade so that they would not be in the same
geez.
area at all, just because they weren't sure what would happen. And it's like, it just seems so overkill.
Wild.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know.
So this is your first year having to deal with all that.
First year having to deal with it, yeah, because literally haven't dealt with it at all.
Has
until
April
now.
done it the whole time?
Oh yeah, the whole time that
Oh
I've
yes,
known her.
same.
Yeah.
And
Leslie,
it's
same thing.
Stressful.
Yeah.
for
That's a
always.
long time for you
The
guys.
whole time
every
she's
year.
been doing it the whole time, and she
Yeah.
hates it every
Every year.
testing.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's just that, and the way my wife puts it too is that it's just, I mean, it's like from one test to the next test to another test. So I mean, it's like they go a week
Yeah.
of CMAS. I don't even think they get a break, or they maybe get a day break or something like that, and then they go right into NWEA testing. Right after that is done, now they're doing some other testing, and then some other smaller tests after that, and then the end of the school year.
Yeah.
And so this whole quarter is pretty much test with teaching in between,
Yeah.
and still taking
exactly.
smaller tests on the stuff that she just taught as well. So not only are they being tested at these state levels and all these other tests, but now that like, hey, now you have a test on what we just learned also. So these poor kids, like, this last quarter is just tests.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's the thing too, is then you get like, I was talking to a lady I work with, and she's like, she just like opted her kids out, because people do that too.
That's the thing. Yep.
That's the thing too, for sure. And she said to me, like, her kids straight up told her, they're both, one's in middle school and one's in high school. So maybe she took it too. But like, her middle school son told her, like, I'm just going to just tank it and I don't even care. And so then all he does is just jack up whatever
Right. The
things
teachers
that
all
they do.
"No,
Yeah,
this-
exactly. So it's like, just don't even take it, just leave or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I have a hard time with that. Like, I was never a good test taker, but the fact of me saying, I'm not even going to try.
Oh, that would have never flown in my house.
Yeah, true. Exactly.
Because my mom would have wanted to know what was her scores.
So here's the thing with the scores on the state test. So they don't even get to see the scores until next year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, I mean, I guess if you're wanting to know, you get to know the next year. It's not like you get it's not an instant gratification either. So by then it's already like forgotten and gone and done.
Oh, not at my house. That would have been all. That would have been all. what was
Calling
that test?
people.
No, but you
He didn't do
just
good?
don't get to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. There
Now
would have
the
been
other
no
tests,
half-assing it for me.
that they're taking, the NWEA testing that they're taking, that's like an instant gratification. Like my son's already taking, every day they're doing, like they did math one day, they did reading another day, and they know that next day what their test score was.
Okay.
Those test scores, I think, are kind of valuable because that puts some placement. You can actually like, oh, he scored well here. He can get placed in a higher math class. He can get placed in a higher class. The other test, the state test that's not required, I guess, because you can opt out. But the state test that you could take, it doesn't do anything except for provide data for the next year, I guess you could say. So it's, I don't know. I find it kind of pointless myself as a
which isn't one of them tied to the teachers get. I wouldn't say they get like a performance review on it, but they definitely review that with them as to what their growth was.
Yeah, I
right?
think it's the state test.
It's a state testing, and it all based.
But if is that the one that's the next year?
Yes.
So they don't find out how they did until the next year.
Correct.
So, well, then by then it's too late. They already got a new job to start with a new set of kids.
It just has moved on to the next kids.
It's a really bad process, and it just makes no sense.
Back
to me.
this up here. You did terrible last year. We're gonna have to get another teaching place.
Or can you imagine if it was like, how you know that raise we just gave you because the test scores came back? We're gonna back you up a little bit.
Like,
you
need all that money back too.
Well, and I think like we said before, like all I know and care about is both of my kids are exponentially smarter than I am. So whatever it is, I'm good because I know that they're killing it, so fine. I'm good with that. Just move on from there. But yeah, especially thinking next year because my son will be in third grade next year, and so that will be his first year taking it. But he's a good test taker, so it wouldn't be a problem at all. But man,
there was no opting out at our house. I was not letting those kids.
I wouldn't. Well, yeah,
I don't think you should because I think it forces you to learn how to be a good test taker. And both my kids, I swear to you, I mean they're pretty smart, but I think a good portion of it was because they could just take tests well and. My daughter will tell you for sure. She'll be the first to say, "I'm just good at tests. I can deduce."
Well, we had that discussion in my house a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember what we were talking about the ACT because I just took the ACT.
Yeah.
Most people in the middle of the country take both or take one or whatever. And like, I don't remember what I scored. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And so in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's good enough. And she's like, oh, and she scored way better than me the first time. But then she's like, oh man, I know I can do better. And then she took it again and got 2 points higher or whatever. And it was like, oh, I was such a bad student. I was like, oh, I got enough to know I can get into this school and I'm good to go. And she was like, nope, this one's not good enough. I'm going to take it again. And then she did better. But just so crazy, just that concept was never there for me. But it was never a thing for my parents to be like, no, we're not going to do this. Or yes, you're going to take this again or whatever. That push was never really there. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing too. So one of the tests, everybody's taking the same test regardless of your level of reading or math skills or anything like that. So those that are a little bit behind are taking the same test as somebody who's way advanced or just right on the nose. So if let's say you're doing a reading test and you can't read that well, you think you're going to do well on that test, and that's going to reflect back on the teachers and so forth. So I feel like that's unfair.
Absolutely.
Completely. Mm-hmm. Whereas there's another test that will because now that it's all done on the computer, because we're super techie now.
Yeah.
TMT guys.
TMT.
Total. Yeah, I got nothing for him.
Tech. This test will automatically adjust. So you start answering some questions right. It's like, oh, this person knows what they're talking about. So then they start bumping up the question and then bump up another question. If you keep answering it right, you get to this point where now you're getting like these hard questions that you've never even dreamt of in your life.
This is a thing now?
This is a thing, yeah. So as my wife was walking around the room, making sure everybody was doing their test, she was looking over at some of the questions. And some of like in third grade, this is a third grader, it was coming up like 435 times 12 to the third power, and third grader's like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know what that extra number is. Like, what?
And your wife just has to shrug her shoulders, like
exactly, and she can't help. She just is like, do your best.
Mm-hmm.
What else did she tell me? There was some other stuff that, like, I mean, they're writing like an essay like on some of these things, and it's just like these kids. Some of them can just type it out, but like there's others that are just like You know?
Correct.
The dog runs fast.
Yes. When did you learn to type? I remember for me,
I don't
I
wanna
was
talk about
middle school was when I learned how to type. So I didn't, these kids at third grade typing and typing essays on a test blows my mind.
You guys learned how to type like on a typewriter, right? Like not a computer, like a typewriter.
It was a typewriter that was connected to a screen.
No, like a typewriter with a piece of paper that was all.
It was a.
And then
It
you
was a.
rolled the paper down
It was
in
a
there.
word
That's how you guys
it was
did
a
it, right?
word processor, right? Just it was.
No,
I mean,
no,
it was
like a
big. Like
typewriter.
the screen was pretty deep.
With an ink
But,
ribbon, and the little things were all clunk, clunk. That's how you guys learned.
Oh, I
how to
think we
type
had
it.
one of those, but it was on display. It
I
was one
think
of those
it was
don't
in
touch.
the.
I didn't either. I didn't
in
have
the
that.
glass
That's
case
not what I
for
learned on
sure.
either in high school. That's not what I learned.
Definitely not.
Oh,
That was so funny. I had this discussion with somebody at work recently. This person came into the office and they're like older. They're probably in their mid 70s. And I was helping her reset this password and do all this kind of stuff. And she kept looking at me like, how do you know how to do all this stuff? And I said, I've literally, since I was in elementary school, computers have been around. Like, it's not like we were using computers every day like kids are now with Chromebooks and whatever, but like literally you could go and use a computer. You could do this, you could do that, and you'd play Oregon Trail or whatever.
Yes.
So it's like literally my whole life has been around computers. But, it's that whole idea of that early 80s child like I am, where it's like I grew up in an age where I didn't have a cell phone, but I knew how to use a computer right away, and then it moves on from there. So it's that weird crossover. Like you're saying, it's like, okay, I didn't have any of that, I had to
There were computers.
I had to light a stove
just wanna-
to heat up the one-room schoolhouse.
There
and
were
whatever it was.
I took a spreadsheet class in high school, so
Oh yeah, with a big floppy disk and
yes,
The save icon.
100% there was a humongous floppy disk that nobody even knows about.
and
but,
both ways to school uphill in the snow.
but there were
no shoes.
typewriters, and it was loud and click 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 click.
Now that's just a thing. Like people would just like ASMR. They're just like
just get one to be like ironic, Yeah.
hipster.
It'd be a hipster. So cool. Oh man. Well, yeah. And speaking of reading, when we were talking last week, Leslie, I think, was talking about book fair
Right.
coming up, and I can't remember if this book fair is happening at our school right now. I can't remember if
It
it's
is
coming up.
It's happening here.
It's
At
happening.
It
our
either
West
just
schools.
happened or it's going on right now. And
Yeah, we don't really worry about reading very much, so it's fine. So we just yeah. Book fair is funny though. Book fair is like you have to go into this room of books, and if you don't buy a book for your kid, you feel like the worst parent in the world. It's like these books are all at the library, and you can get them for free, but I have to buy you this book. And yeah, it's literally everything. And then you stack up all these books, and you come to the end, and it costs you, $112 at the end, and you're just like, really, books? But
This book fair is bringing a lot of money to the schools. It is out of control.
That's true.
What did they raise last year? It was like $15,000.
it's unreal.
What's the number, Kyle? Oh,
Numbers
good.
guy, Rain Man.
I have no idea what that number is. I know it's thousands and thousands of dollars
Ooh,
for sure.
nice.
They do a lot of fundraising, but the book fair is one big.
It's huge.
When
It's crazy.
book fairs, I don't remember ever buying a book when I went to a book fair when I was a kid. That was buying the other crap that was there, like cool pens or pencils or erasers
bookmarks
or the pen that had the 4 different colors. You know, and put down the green and use green. I mean, that kind of stuff.
We didn't have book fair per se, but we had those. Do you remember taking home those little like flyers, and you had to like show your parents,
Scholastic
like,
ones?
Yes, and you're like,
I mean, they still do that.
They still do that?
Oh, yeah.
That's a
We
thing?
still have Scholastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Still do that because you get like points. And
Oh, yeah,
you
the
order all that
points.
from
I
the
do know
points.
about the
There's
points.
a teacher thing.
Oh.
Scholastic.
Yeah, how many
points,
points?
for
I
sure.
used my points to get this book. that
Yeah, I
wanted
got
for
my whole class. I bought books for my class,
Yeah.
and it cost
That's
me.
true. Now that you mention it, okay.
Yeah,
you're
Scholastic's still a thing. But yeah, the book fair is kind of funny because it takes up the funny thing to me is the book fair takes up the whole library. So they move all these books out that the kids can get for free every day. And you're like, here's books that you have to buy.
But those
to
are
take
new
home.
books,
These are
Jeremy.
new books. Because we're in the midst of these graphic novels. I forgot the name of it that my son likes to read. And he literally reads them in 7 minutes. And we have 30 of them.
Oh, yeah.
And so now he's read all of them. And so he has to go back and read them. But we've bought all these books. So yeah, but I don't know. The book fair is so funny to me. But
there's
growing up, I don't remember book fairs.
There is other books though. So like my wife came home the other day. Oh, shopping at the book fair. And there was cookbooks. What little
There's
kids
a
do you
lot of
want?
stuff.
Like get a cookbook.
Oh yeah, my daughter always looks for those. We got cookbooks.
That's
there.
crazy to me.
Dog Man.
Yeah. Okay.
Dog man.
Yeah, my son read those ones.
Yep.
We had Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh man,
That's a little different.
That's a little different. Collecting the binders with all the trading cards, the Garbage Pail Kids,
The Garbage Pail Kids. The the
Boxcar Children. No,
Nope, I don't remember
What?
that one.
Jason. No, Boxcar
No.
Children.
I don't
Oh
think-
man, Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, that was definitely what we had.
Oh man,
Choose Your Own Adventure.
there you go.
The
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. I
That's-
never really read Goosebumps.
Oh, I was
either.
all about the Goosebumps as a
Speaking
kid.
that
Goosebumps.
surprises me.
this is a new thing I just found out too. They've kind of graduated from Goosebumps. Now there's like horror books in there that are terribly scary. Well, I mean, this is take it with a grain of salt because my wife is scared about anything, but she said that basically it's like a horror book that they have that you could just these kids are reading, and she's like, the little kids are coming in. She's like, that thing's scary. Why would you read that? And they're like, it's so cool, Mrs. Leslie. It's so awesome, Mrs. Leslie. But yeah, the scary books. I was surprised that was the case, and they've got weird content books and weird stuff that they have.
Oh yeah,
It was just
It's-
Garbage Pail Kids. Is all
the
I
book
remember.
fair is always a thing of like, let's not find some thing that's actually not have any words in it. We always try to find some book.
Yeah.
And it's always the thing every year. It's like, okay, if we're going to do, all right, here's $50. Thank you.
Yeah. Here's $50. Did your wife get any stickers?
From the book fair?
Yeah.
She probably
From the
did. She's
book
probably not going to
fair.
tell me about it, but she's probably got them.
About a sticker pack.
She has a sticker budget that she's hiding
Yeah.
from you.
Sticker fund.
Didn't you get a raise this year? Nope. I don't remember that. Nope.
Wow, there seems to be a lot of stickers here.
Don't go in that back bedroom. That's my
That's like,
teacher
Oh.
workplace.
there you go. There's
Teacher,
a
please.
good Parks and Rec nod. You remember that one where she's they're calling her to like confirm charges on her account, and it's like, oh, you bought a life-size pillow of Prince William, and she's like, yep, that one's right. And it's like, oh, you bought, I can't remember what she said. It's like 4 or 5 charges. It's like that Leslie has on her account, and
Yeah.
they're like, no, just go ahead and cancel that. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure what that was. You bought 1,000 sticker packs. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's real.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with them? I don't know, but I got them.
I might need them someday.
Yeah, someday they're
Yeah,
there.
I hear that we might need those. I don't want to throw that away because we might need that supply or whatever. The extra pencils.
Man.
Flare pens.
Well, okay. So we were talking to my daughter the other day and just about the podcast. What are some funny things we can talk about? And she said, you guys haven't talked about the video, have you? I said,
The video.
video. No, because I never watched the video. That was the thing. I was there. We had sex ed in high school, but now in 5th grade,
5th grade.
they watch video, and that's what everybody refers to it as is the video, which is puberty video. Where it goes real in depth, real clinical, and real graphic, and those kids come back. They're not the same. They're changed after the video. My daughter could still remember vividly going, I had to watch the video. I think the girls watch a video and the boys watch a video. I don't think they
It's
watch them
usually
together,
separate.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember your kids, or did they talked about the video, or did you opt them out of the video?
No, my son watched the video. He didn't want to talk about it, but he watched it, so at least he's educated.
Yeah.
I even tried to bring it up today because I knew we were going to talk about it.
Did he close his eyes
And
at
he
parts?
didn't want to talk about it. He's like, I got to go do some stuff. And so, yeah, it is real traumatizing.
Weird. I almost
apparently.
got the same reaction.
I don't.
Too.
Well, 2 things. I don't remember watching any kind of video at any point in school.
Yeah.
Nothing. Or even a sex ed class. I don't remember having it at all. I don't know. Also, I don't think they watch a video in 5th grade at our school.
Oh.
I don't know. I really,
You should inquire.
Your kid's
I
not
either-
old enough yet.
Well, yeah, no, she's in 6th grade now.
Oh, she's that's
Yeah.
right. She's in 6th
She's
grade.
middle
So
school
she
now.
might, yeah, you would have known about the video unless
I admit, or I just blank. It's one of those discussions we had in my household. It's like I said to Anne, it's like, okay, from the age of this until when she's this old, I'm just out. Like
Yeah.
you know what to do. When when everything happens with my son, for that point, I'm in. I'll figure that stuff out. But the other side, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I don't really know. Maybe we opted out of it. I'm not really sure. It feels like we probably opted out of it because I feel like Anne wanted to just have like okay, this is you and I, my daughter and her talking, and that's it. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Leslie watched it, and she says we watched it. I don't remember.
Like
It
now,
obviously
recently?
wasn't-
Recently.
No. Just for fun. She got us a copy. So we can just watch.
You watch it every year just to make sure you know.
Pop some popcorn, make a night of it. Yeah. So
It's date night. We're watching the movie.
sometimes I need a refresher about some things.
This
It's
is what
fine.
we have to look forward to after 20
Yeah.
plus years of marriage. Oh, great.
When you start talking about everything, you got to bring some stuff in to just liven things up. Okay. Yeah. Just education. Strictly for education, guys. That's why we watch it. Strictly
Right.
for education. But yeah.
I'm
she
sure
said we
certain
watched
other
it.
movies start out like this too.
Yeah. But I don't remember watching it. She said I did. And we decided that, yeah, it would be fine for them to watch it. She just wanted to see it before time, make sure
Yeah.
there was nothing super weird. But then it was like, yeah, we're going to watch it. Because I want to be like, hey, how's that video? And he's all, it was gross. Maybe I didn't ask. I don't want to know what Leslie asked. She did bring it up, though. Remembered it vividly. So
Probably Mona Lisa, but not her. It's fine.
I
Okay.
say,
Yeah,
You did.
you did. It's all right.
Yeah,
we
well,
got it.
So
It's only-
I remember watching the video. It was in my home ec in middle school. We had a home ec class, where we learn how to sew and do all these things. And somehow they worked in the video.
we just
Natural.
sewing away while you're watching a video.
Yeah. It was like you had to learn how to cook.
You had to you're baking bread. You're
So apparently that's
sewing,
stuff that you learn at the
and-
house. Like you're playing
Yeah,
house,
I
you might
guess
as
so.
well
Cracking eggs. Speaking of eggs, watch this short video.
That's a great segue. I do remember. So this is me at 6th grade. I didn't quite understand the video. Go figure.
We'll get you a copy so you can study up.
Can someone catch me up on this now?
Yeah.
But I asked the question. Nobody wanted to answer any question, but I was real confused. I had to ask the question and be like, so does the guy just pee on the girl? And I do remember.
You asked in class?
I did.
In home ec?
I did. And I remember my teacher's response was like, no, you will never pee on the girl.
You're like, the hell I won't.
Oh, it's like, okay, well, that's what I understood out of it. So maybe your video should clarify.
What kind of video did you guys watch?
Yeah, this
Lord.
is a different video.
This was
What was your
this
home
was
ec
up in
teacher's
Orchard
name?
Mesa, huh?
She may not be a
Are they
teacher
arrested?
anymore.
Are they in jail now? For,
Mm.
there's a whole generation of kids that came out of that school. They're like, remember that video with the peeing and stuff? Oh,
I think it was produced by R. Kelly.
Oh, no.
oh yeah, that's bad. No, it was in freshman year, and we had a whole class about it. And part of the class I remember is at the end, they did a mock marriage ceremony.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had to plan the ceremony, and there was a groom and a girl, and then at the end of the year.
Did you have to propose?
No, we didn't. It was we all were kind of part of this. No, let me back that up. Maybe that was the home ec class. I just remember there was one where they got married, and I remember going to watch, and his name was I probably shouldn't say it anyway, but him and this girl were getting married. They were not dating, but he latched onto her when it was like you may kiss the bride. He
went for it?
yes, and she was all about it. The teacher was like, okay, all right, that's enough of that. They kept going. He's like, no, that's enough.
Wait, is that how they segued to the video? It was like, we're going to do this mock marriage, and then this is what happens on the wedding night, and then
No,
the
'cause-
video?
There was no video show. I know this because I ditched class to go watch the ceremony because I knew the guy. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go see him get married. This will be dope. And so went to the class, watched him get married. All this happened, and there was not a video after because I think people were too amped up at that point. They didn't want to show any type of
Oh, that's true.
too many hormones going on, probably.
Yeah.
So, but I just remember there was not a separation. It was like the girls watched one, the boys watched one. It was just at the front of the class, the VCR, when they rolled the TV in, and everybody watched the same.
Huh.
VCR?
There's an
Video
acronym.
cassette recorder. That's an acronym for you.
Oh, there's one.
Help
I
you
can
out.
see one. Look at that.
Yeah, I have one.
You did it.
Yeah, it's right there.
Nice. Yeah.
I did that
Awesome.
for you guys. So you,
All right.
Bringing it back.
yeah, I
Bring
don't
it
want there to
back.
be TMT. So,
True. We can't
Keep it old
go
school.
TMT. We're gonna
Yeah.
keep it old school.
TMT back in that day was, how do I program the VCR to record at a certain time because
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a DVR
No.
digital.
Look at all these acronyms.
Wow. God, so many teacher acronyms.
It must not be just a teacher thing. We've thrown out quite a few.
No.
That's true.
I have. but-
Wii U.
Wii U.
you had to program the stupid VCR to record at a certain time so you could watch the A-Team when you got back home. A-Team reference. You guys know
No.
about that, right?
I mean, yes, but we know what a VCR is.
Miami Vice?
Not
Is that
ATM.
better?
No.
No,
Keep
it's not
going.
better. Oh, okay.
I saw a Hey Dude Instagram clip today, and it made me feel so happy. Hey Dude? 90s Nickelodeon? No?
Oh, I thought you were talking
Oh.
about the shoes.
Me too.
no,
I
no.
thought you
Oh,
were
yeah,
the
that's
shoes.
true. I do have those now. No, Hey
Yeah.
Dude from 90s
No, I don't watch
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, yeah, like the
Oh, yeah.
cowboy.
The
not the
cowboy, like
summer
the
school or
like
summer-
Dude Ranch.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Watch that one.
Oh yeah, that
I was
was
basically an adult at that point, so
you were. It's true.
Huh.
Hmm.
you can't do that on television. We watched on Nickelodeon. My era.
Is that like when Nickelodeon
That's
started?
Yes. They slimed everybody. That's where the
They were-
sliming came from.
They were
Like
like,
Alanis Morissette was on it.
Guys. And they were like right there. They were. It was like all black and white, and then they were like, "All right, watch this." And then it turned to color. It was amazing.
And you got blew your mind. Like,
Yeah. Whoa! There's so much green with that slime. There's a bad documentary about it, guys. You probably shouldn't watch it. So,
yeah, I don't want to be tainted.
good.
Hi, this is April.
This is Anne.
This is Leslie,
My husband is making me record.
This ridiculous commercial on a Sunday night.
and I just want to go to bed.
I'm looking forward to clearing up a few things with the other girls.
When we join the guys in the studio for episode 7.
Which drops the end of June.
So stay tuned.
Enjoy the rest of this episode.
And thanks for listening to the Teacher Husbands podcast.
Oh, well, okay. So let me just ask this since we were listening to my dogs. Bark.
That's pretty
good.
I got it.
That's a great segue.
That's
pretty good. That was
I didn't know
I thought
where
so.
to go.
Smooth.
I got it.
Smooth was what that was.
Good.
Class pets. Do you your wives have class pets? I know mine does not because she knows if she brings it home, I might actively try to let it out and or starve because I don't want any gerbils in the house or whatever they have.
It
these
feels
days.
like
Or
a
lizards.
dig at me.
That's a little dig.
It is
Or
definitely
hamsters.
a dig.
Yeah,
You haven't
was
got
that
it yet.
hamster?
Nope. Keep
No.
going.
Guinea pig.
There we go.
Yeah, no. Want that squeaking.
Rodents.
Let's start with you, rodents. That was the best start of all of it. So
Yep.
that's was with these rodents have been around for. This is now year 2, I think. Right?
The
What's
same
their-
ones, or do you get?
Oh,
new
no,
ones
they're
every
same
year?
ones. No,
What's
they're
the
same
lifespan
Oh.
on those
I have
rodents?
no idea.
You're gonna find out.
I have no idea. So yeah,
What if
2
they
years
live for, like,
ago,
decades.
two,
Um,
2 years ago, it was like, hey, it's great. The principal's gonna buy these guinea pigs, and they're going to be great. They're in the classroom, and blah blah blah. Okay, fine. I don't care. And then comes to find out, it's like, well, what happens on a long weekend, on a break, on summer break?
you get new guinea pigs.
What happens to these? What happens to these guinea pigs? Well, they come home to our house, and so
Oh, they do.
yeah, they do. But they've been there several times.
We got to meet them.
You did get to meet them. They were
I meant
were
my house. They don't come home to my house.
true. Yes, these guinea pigs were in the garage during darts one
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
They were just
They were
hanging
fine.
out.
I didn't. I mean,
They
were
didn't
nice.
do anything.
They didn't help me.
They didn't help. That's true. They are helpless.
They
That's
didn't
for
hurt,
sure.
I guess, either.
Yeah.
So
They weren't distracting. They weren't very loud.
So, and usually they're out Well, so the hard part is like, they're in the garage, and then I told Ann, I said, they stink up my garage. I don't want them in the garage. Well, I don't want them in the house either. I'd rather have them probably in the garage than in the house because I don't want the house
Put
smelling
them
like that.
outside.
Put
You
them
just put 'em
outside. Yeah, probably.
In
front
Maybe
yard.
the dog
Probably
will
fine.
eat them. They're probably
Unfenced.
okay. Yeah. So
Put them on a leash outside.
little
I
harness.
don't know. I can't figure what class pet I would be better. Would I be better with a reptile
Ugh,
class
nope.
pet than a rodent?
I mean,
You know what's the best pet?
A goldfish?
Not having a pet.
Not
Yeah.
having one.
Oh,
I mean, if goldfish would be better, I'd have to say goldfish. You could just bring that home. I mean,
You
it's
can
not a
easy.
pain to drive that home
you don't even do that. You can buy those little tablets and just drop it in.
and
What?
kill it.
Goldfish?
Yeah.
Kill it?
Yeah, no, not the
Euthanize? What are
killing
you-
tablets. That's a different tablet. The feeding tablet, you just drop it in there and they're fed for like a month.
No, I meant taking
That's
it home, driving it home, and with all this water sloshing around.
Yeah,
And
you don't
gotta
have to do
bring it
that.
home.
Just leave them in the classroom. Just leave it alone.
Oh, I see
true,
what
you
you're
don't
saying.
have to.
Oh, summer, huh?
You just go in there every once in a while and plop it in.
Yes, you could.
Okay, here we
True.
go. If
That's
you
fish.
had fish,
Fish is
Okay.
where it's at. I'm
No-
listening.
no fish, no warm-blooded mammals, because obviously cats and dogs can't be a cat or dog class pet. If you had to pick one that was, here's the thing. I'm just gonna get myself in trouble. The class pet lives in the classroom 75% of the year. I don't have to deal with it. This year, mostly we're looking at there's going to be like 3 kids that just trade off and have these things throughout the summer. So we don't have to see them. They just trade them off and they go to a different class. What rodent and or reptile and or warm-blooded small mammal or something would you take if it was the last resort?
No reptiles. I'm not dealing.
None
with
at all?
Yeah,
No.
Okay,
I'm
so
with you on
rodent
that.
over reptile for
Yes.
sure. Okay.
And
Yes.
what's the rodent that makes the least amount of noise?
I would say like a hamster, right?
I don't want
Even
it
then, I think
running on that wheel.
Yeah, the
I don't
wheels.
want to run the
The
click, click, click,
wheels.
click for
I
the
mean,
water.
the guinea pigs definitely are a little like they and they do that, and if they get hungry and they come and feed them, they kind of get up and whatever. The funny thing is, though, some of these people love these things. People love rodents and
To eat
whatever.
them in certain
Love
countries.
In certain countries, they love that's. So we didn't even talk about that. When the rodents were bought, it was literally the first thing out of my mouth. Like, rodents? We're gonna have rodents come into our house? Is that what we're doing? And it's still
By
to this
choice?
day. Still to this day. Whenever they come home, oh, the rodents are coming back.
Uh-huh.
And then it's, oh, the rodents are in the garage. I got to go feed the rodents.
You say this?
Yes, me, because
Oh.
they'll die.
What a nice guy you are.
Well,
If
I don't
there-
want dead rodents.
Let me paint a picture for you.
You know what
Rodents
smells
come to my
worse
house.
than a regular rodent? A dead
Yeah,
rodent.
yeah, absolutely.
No, because you just throw out the trash. Then you get new rodents.
Oh.
Let me give you a scenario. Leslie, my wife, comes home and says, "Hey, we have rodents in the class, and now we have to keep them in our house." Cool. If I have to see, smell, or hear it, we're gonna have a problem. So it probably is gonna be kept in the garage, which would be very much against my wishes, but I lose out anyway. And if I have to feed it, it's gonna starve because I'm not gonna feed it. Just out of principle. It's not my rodent. If one of those little kids better come have a field trip to our house and feed it in the garage. I'll open the door. But I'm not feeding that rodent. Ugh. Not that I'm scared of rodents. I mean, I used to have a rat a long time ago, but I'm not doing it anymore. Ugh.
I
Did you say
don't
rat
know.
tail or rat?
No, I had an actual rat.
Yeah.
I had a rat.
Jason
and
knows
I
the
had-
other one.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I had the rat
I had
tail.
an actual rat. Yeah, my mom did not like it. It was pretty. That's partially the reason why I had it anyway, just because I thought that'd be cool. But no, it was dumb. I got rid of it as fast as I could. Like, let's just give this back to the pet store. But I'm not gonna. That's not my rodent. I'm not gonna feed it.
No, it's definitely not my rodent. Which is like
you have
is
2 kids, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like,
They-
hey,
they-
did you feed the rodent? 'Cause
Well, yeah.
it might die if you don't.
we
Oh,
do
we want it
that.
to
That
die.
we go through that. But
I would paint that vivid picture.
The-
Oh, did you want the rodent to die? No. Okay, well, you better feed
That's
it.
on you.
the daily reminder of did you feed the rodent is harder than just going and doing it myself.
Oh, that's where we disagree.
Because that's
I
the
would
reason
even
why
remind.
that's
I
the
would-
reason why it took us 15 years to get a dog. because it's like,
I know I would have to.
I have to do this stuff. Now, at least they're old enough where it's like, okay, you go and do it. I'm going to remind you every single day, but get it done in the morning.
I must hit the jackpot with Leslie. She's very much a nurturer that way. She's not letting anything happen to those,
No.
any type of animal, nothing. And
I'm not-
even plants, she's same. So.
Oh, I'm not going to say any words about that. We're just going to move on.
Next
I'm
subject.
going to be in trouble big time.
I think you said
Next
plenty of
sub-
words.
I
just like that.
definitely did.
I think you're already in
All
trouble.
we know is that the rodents, for as long as I know, the rodents are not coming home this summer.
Oh, good for
There's
you.
a sign-up sheet to
I was
move
going to
them
write a
around.
complaint to the darts league.
The head of the darts
That's
league.
true. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna put him in the camper or something. Nope. They can't do that
No, you
either.
don't want that. Stinking up the
I don't
camper.
want that either. All right. Yeah.
Well, April's not having any pets. I believe that the principal does not want him in the school, so I think that's the
that's
thing.
right. I
So
think that's right.
So we're safe there. Is there embalming?
Embalming.
Please
Oh,
say
we could
yes.
only- could
Please,
only hope that there
this
would
is
be
an elective. If any kids want to,
embalming.
it's gonna be
Oh.
taught by Miss Leslie.
Yeah, Miss Leslie's going to teach the embalming class. No, it's not an elective. They have a science lesson where they get tadpoles and they watch the tadpoles grow, so they can see the whole life cycle of being an amphibian into
Mhm.
into a whole frog, tadpole frog.
Huh.
So they don't have legs, grow legs, then lose the tail, whatever. And so you get 4 or 5 and 3 die. And so you watch 2 kind of get to the end where they're a frog. The kids are attached to them. And then the kids think at the end of the year that, oh, we're just going to release these into the canal. But that's definitely not what happens.
Oh no.
Those get put into a nice little Ziploc bag and they're walked right over to the freezer and bloop and left in the freezer until they freeze. And then you just throw them away.
That's like a painful slow death.
is.
But they're cold-blooded. So they just slow down. It's not necessarily that they're, oh, I'm so cold. It's just like they're dead. So I'm thinking, I don't know.
That's
I'm
like
not-
a
I'm not
Dr.
scientist, but
Kevorkian kind of.
Are we gonna get PETA called on us?
I think so.
it's a thing that they order through the school.
That's a
They-
teacher thing.
Mm-hmm. They order this. They order these tadpoles to
catalog?
watch the life cycle, and then there's very specific instructions on how to get rid. And that's the instruction
what
is
they're
to
supposed
put
to
them
do.
in the freezer and do them. And so Leslie had a problem with that. She didn't, want to do them. I'm like, well, guess what? Not having any frogs at the house, and you probably shouldn't start a new frog infestation in the canal. You better just do what they tell you to do. And if you can't do it, I will. Not a problem. So
You're the designated frog killer.
I could be. Yeah, it's really easy. Just get a little net.
See, and
Driving
like
the thing.
legit the opposite. In middle school, they raised trout in little fit, and then they went and released them into the.
Well, trout I could see. But
Yeah, they released them in just 2 days ago. They went up. They were going to go up to Rifle and do it, and then they couldn't do it, or they weren't big enough yet, or whatever. So literally, like 2 days ago, my daughter with their science teacher went and they released them all into connected lakes or something like that, or something. So, yeah, there you
Nice, very nice.
go. Huh. Wow. Yeah, frog. I don't know. I'm trying to think of if I could deal with a amphibian over a reptile.
100%.
I agree.
100%.
Maybe. I don't know.
Frogs are somehow a little bit cooler than stupid reptile. I'm just not big in reptiles.
I'm not. I don't. I
like
don't think any of
iguanas. I
them.
don't
I
like-
couldn't even. Yeah, I got nothing. Unless it's a dog or a cat.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Agreed.
And not cat. So basically just dog.
I like dogs and cats, but not cats.
Basically.
It depends on the kind of cat you have. We have the greatest cats ever who just
I've-
go outside, and I don't have to clean a cat box because they just go outside.
Yeah.
And they get food every day because the kids take care of it. And that's it.
Okay.
I have other words for that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of.
I mean, my cats don't.
I've had cats.
My cats don't whine as much as your dogs do. I'll
I can
tell you that.
That's right. I can tell you, the favorite animal I ever had was a cat, and
There you go.
his name was Boss, and he was the coolest of all animals. But then no other cat could ever come to that, could be that cool. So
Oh no,
you just can't have
that's
them.
good.
I mean, in my eyes anyway, because that's what I
Go
grew
out
up
with a bang.
Yeah, he was the best ever. So I'm not gonna get another cat and be like, ugh, such a. Ugh.
I mean,
you're as cool as the other one.
If we want to deep dive it a little bit, my cat's name is the same name of your son's name on this podcast.
John Ralphio. Huh?
John Ralphio. My cat.
That's a lot of words to say for a cat. Man.
Pretty great. We just call him John Ralphie.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's pretty good. He's a little bit nut.
I like one syllable names.
I know. It's okay. It's fine. But it's a good name. We like it.
JR.
Speed.
JR. Yes. People call him JR. It's fine. That's
Acronyms.
Acronyms.
Acronyms. Oh, man. Well, let's
Teacher
see.
things.
Where are we at here? This is not a good segue, so I'm just trying to look
This
at
is
our
not a
list
segue.
here. This is not a segue. Student-led conferences.
Ooh, I got some words about that.
Do ya?
So what we know as student-led conferences, I got schooled by a teacher, my wife, that there's different types of student-led conferences. So there's like open house. So yes, open house, and I can't remember what she called the other one, but an open house one is, it's just you come show up from like 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock or whatever, and you just show up at random. And so there's like, could be 10 families in there, there could be nobody in there. And so you're trying to talk to the teacher,
And those are still student led.
and they're student led. So then the teacher's roaming around just listening what the kids are saying, but she's trying to listen to all these other families going at the same time.
Pods of people.
Yeah, like you go over here, you go over here, you go over here, and then it's like so the kids are just all talking to their parents, but then she's like overhearing, like, but she's got to oversee all that stuff. So like in the end, you know you don't want to ask questions, or you don't want to like embarrass your kid, because then you're like, there's all these other families that are there, and like they're like, your kid sucks. But
that kid. Oh.
yeah, let me tell you about your kid. And so there's that going on, but then there's also student led. Again, what I don't remember what the other one's called, but like it's a scheduled time, and you got 20 minutes or whatever to.
It's real intense.
So that sounds like a better, and that's the way my wife does her conferences. It's like, so the kid's gonna teach it. I can jump in and correct him if needed, or like at the very end, let me talk about how cool your kid is in front of just you, and it's a little more intimate there.
Yeah.
But the open house thing, like, and I never experienced the open house thing until now that my son's in middle school, and that's just all they do.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. As a parent, I absolutely despise it and I hate it. And
Well, I mean, I think I could figure out why they would do it that way, because if they don't want to listen to all those, they don't want to sit down and listen and talk about how great every kid is, because in middle school, they probably don't like a lot of them. So the faster they can get those conferences done, let's just get them all done at once and just there. You guys do yours, you do yours. And I feel like the student-led ones, I mean, yeah, it's real neat. They can talk about it, but it kind of seems like a cop-out, because if the kid's like, I don't know, this is what I do, and they don't say much, and it's over, you don't get a whole lot of it. Now, I'd like to clarify something. My wife has been a teacher the entire time my kids have been alive, so she handled all of the conferences pretty much. She was already there, and I didn't really have to go unless there was an issue. I only had to go to a self-imposed conference with the teacher one time, and I took care of that problem right then and there. But otherwise, I didn't ever go to any.
So
Is that bad?
this is from the guy that would let guinea pigs die, is what we're saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think you could see how one would fall right in line with the other, right? You guys can see where this is going.
Well, yeah, okay. This might just jump off, and this could be a good thing, I guess, for future. Did Leslie ever have either of your kids in her class?
Both of them.
Both in her class?
Not, I mean, obviously not at the same time because they're different age, but yeah,
different age.
Both,
but like, and that was intentional.
Intentional, yeah.
Wow.
And
ours
they
is
did really
ours
well.
is the other way. Like,
Yeah.
going into next year, it's for sure like he's gonna be in the other class. It's not even gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, anyway, that's
happened
segue.
to my son. Like my wife was like, I love him, but I can't
Yeah,
teach him
Correct.
because we know how he is.
Yeah.
And he would be that one upper to the other kids. He's like, that's my mom.
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
like he would try to get away with things because, oh, that's my mom,
Yeah.
and
Well, you didn't even have him in Leslie's class either for kind of that same
right
reason.
for the same reason.
Yeah.
Because,
Because
that's
good. Oh,
and is it that exact same reason? Because he would try to pull.
he would know.
My son's
Hey,
smart.
I know. Yeah.
He's not dumb.
Yeah.
And he would pull that. He's like, ooh, I know her.
I got it in.
Yeah. And that's my dad's friend, and try to play that angle. And nope, we weren't having that. So we specifically kept him away from the two.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially when we're talking about like when we'll have the girls on and all that kind of stuff, like that's quite a discussion for sure. But yeah, the student led thing has been so funny because it's like you wait for your kid, your student to like give you, like tell you something, and they're like, oh, either they're excited about telling you something they did or they're not. They just kind of drudge through it. But then the conference is never done. Like you're done with it, but you still have your regular parent things you have to ask the teacher. So it's like, it just is, I don't know. It feels like it's more work on the teacher because you got to prepare all these kids to lead their parents in the conference. And then you still have to do all the things afterwards to like answer all these questions. And I don't know. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we had student led something growing up, but maybe not. I don't think it ever was a thing.
I think at this point, I've just learned I hate them. That I think that I'm going to stop going to them.
I don't remember ever having parent-teacher conferences when I was a kid. I think you only had that if there was a problem.
See, and that's what I'm getting at, is I feel like if there's a problem, the teacher will reach out to me and we will have that conference one-on-one. But if there's no problem, then I don't think I need to go because I'm not getting much out of it. And I don't think I don't.
He doesn't want to do it.
He doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it. Or they, I don't know if they don't want to do it, but they have so many other families that they probably need to tend to that it's just not for me, and it's not going to happen at this point anymore, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really remember any of that. Or or if it's like, it's like one of those things, like if you feel like you feel like your kid is always behind or always having difficulty or always lashing out or whatever, it's always like, okay, the conference is a good way to catch up, but whatever. But if like, feel like your kid is doing well, and again, the point can be stated a million times over. If they're smarter than me, great. It's good. I'm happy with that.
Agreed.
I know that. And so it's like, okay, good.
He's on track
they're doing
to get
well.
At least the minimum ACT score we need, right?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, his dad scored this? Okay,
Oh, yeah,
he could
fine.
easily do this right now as a second grader. Good. All right, perfect. But
he's not just going to add C to each one.
we're gonna make a little zigzag back and forth with his bubble answers. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard because like it's you guys you want them. I don't know, and it's just such a funny thing just between the two kids, like. Because my daughter, the older one, like she will talk like ad nauseum about whatever it is that's going on, whether it's school or whatever. She'll keep talking. And then my son, I'll like pick him up from school most days, and he'll be like, "I was like, how's school? Fine. It's always good." And that's all I'll get. So it's like that feels like what the conference is, So it's like, okay, you're doing great because you have your mom there who's a teacher who talks to the other teachers and says, yeah, he's doing great. All right.
If there's
good.
a problem, she knows immediately.
Correct. Immediately. Exactly. So, I don't know. Yeah. Student-led thing. I mean, maybe it's just more like a confidence building thing for them. Maybe it's more like a
learning how to present, I guess, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Again, I'm not a fan of the open house style, the other style. I get that. If it's just me, the student, or me, my son, and the teacher, and he's presenting, and the teacher can be there to like course correct and do that, all about it. Other than that, I don't want any part of it.
Sure. Yeah. The open house, like, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not going to go in and check in and have them say to me, yeah, things are good.
Yep.
Move on.
We knew that.
That's funny. Yeah.
Well, any news this week, Jason? What's in the news? Teachers in the news.
I found a good stories since the last time we recorded. I brought them in. Let's go over this real quick. So the title is Art Teacher Puts Montreal Kids Art for Sale Online. $1.6 million lawsuit alleges.
Oh.
So, yeah. So 10 Montreal area parents are suing a high school teacher and school board after their children's classroom art assignments were allegedly posted for sale online. The lawsuit in Quebec Superior Court seeks
What grade was
100.
this?
Yeah, let's find out where that grade is. Yeah, I don't want to read the whole article. It's kind of, but basically what it is so it's an art teacher had his students do a specific type of art. You know, like in art, right? There's like different styles of art.
Shapes.
Well, just different, like mirroring different artists and stuff like that.
Shapes and
So he had,
triangles, okay.
he had different. He had an art that he had the kids do a specific type of art as an assignment, but he would take these assignments and then he would basically put them online as like the original prints, but he would also put them on mugs and t-shirts and things like that and sell it and basically make money off these kids.
Sounds like a genius.
Sounds like a sweatshop.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is art really? Oh, I'm going to get canceled for that one. You know what I mean. How hard is it for a kid who's having fun in class?
This is high
Getting
school,
a
by the
grade
way.
for it?
I did.
Oh, it is
high school. So it's not even like younger kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That was just some kid crayons in second grade.
No, so it's high school. So it's probably advanced. They're probably pretty good,
Mm.
right? So the guy was making money for a little bit there, you know, and he'd put the assignments. These kids would do the assignment like they're told, and he was making money on the side.
How much money did he make? Does it say? I know they alleged like 1.2 million for the
I
lawsuit,
don't remember
but
what it said. Anything? I
you'd
don't
think he
see it
had to
said-
at least have made that much money to be suing him for it.
No, that's not relational at all, is
Come
it?
on.
They're
Somebody gets sued and then they get sued for $50 million in psychological damages and whatever.
It does say in here though that he was putting them on t-shirts, coffee mugs,
Yeah.
bags, decor. So the prices range anywhere from like $9.50. Some of the original art was like $113, stuff like that. So like,
no, he probably wasn't making 1.2 million.
No, he wasn't. Okay, clarifying, this is Canadian money.
that's true.
So how much is that?
It's less.
It's less.
100,000.
We love our Canadian brothers. and
Yeah,
sisters,
if
but
you're listening up
you're
there,
listening,
it's fine. It's good. I don't know. I definitely because you, especially in high school, you got those kids that know that are they're good artists. They know they can draw. They know they're probably going to go to art school or do whatever they're going to do or
At
whatever it
that
is.
point, yeah.
They could post their own stuff and sell their own stuff. He wasn't turning any of that in to like benefit the school at all,
Oh,
just
no.
for him.
Does this bring up a point that maybe he should have got paid more, and that's why he was maybe just trying to work a side gig to make some extra money?
And so,
That's a ridiculous side gig because he knew he'd have
what
to
if
know
the kids
he'd
were
get in
cool with
trouble.
him selling it? Like,
Well, that's the
have
thing.
it. I'm
No,
just going to throw
so
it
the
away.
kids didn't know. It
Oh.
wasn't until
Does
a
this-
parent came across it, and the parent found out about it.
was going to
and-
buy some art and was like,
Yeah.
hey,
I can get
this
this
is on my
free.
refrigerator.
This is real nice, yeah. So that's how it even was found out in the first place, and then it was like kind of sparked the next person to the next person. Did you see
Investigation.
so and so's art? Did you see your kid's art? And it's like, and it just like kind of blew up on him there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good for him.
I guess I
Way to
think
be
the other way.
That's some ingenuity, right?
Ingenuity there for sure, but I feels like could have easily just like
Teachers are underpaid.
partner
I mean,
with the
you
kid
gotta do
and
what
be
you gotta
like,
do.
hey,
Part of the kid. I'm not sure the kid is old enough to release that art. Or the
he definitely
signings of
is.
the
It's his
contract.
artwork for sure. Just sign it over.
Oh,
So as I found this article, I was thinking about ourselves and how we have the kids in our wives' classes make the cover art.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, we're no better than this. But what stopped me from that thought was we're not getting paid.
yeah.
We're making no
That's
money from
volunteers.
We're not
this.
getting
It's
paid.
volunteers, and they know where it's going.
And if you
It's
look
not
at
like
our
we're
if you
doing
look
it.
at our setup, we are in the red for sure. So all thanks to Jason. Yeah. We sound good thanks to Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This retirement thing it's not a great investment so far. It's not been good on the returns.
This is a slow game.
So we basically all we need to do is just sign something blanket that says if we end up making a dollar or more,
We'll take
on
down
it,
the art.
we'll take down the art, or we will pay a percentage to each kid that contributed.
Whoa. Hey. That was Jeremy said that. That
It's part of my
THP
cut.
Jeremy
Fine.
said that.
Yeah.
Okay. That THP Jason and Kyle did not agree to said verbal contract.
You want to direct all of that towards that THP Jeremy?
Yeah, just send me a message. It's fine. I'm okay with that. All right. But yeah, no, that's funny because I did have that thought. Like, okay, this kid is making like little caricatures of us. Like, okay, if we benefit off of that, what does that mean? You know, like.
We have to go back and negotiate.
Well,
that.
but it's like that. It's just like the whole thing with like Nike. Like, did you watch the movie with Ben Affleck and Air or whatever? It's like he paid that girl like $100 to make the swoosh, and then he gave her like a 1% buy-in into the company after they started. So that she's doing okay. She's doing way good.
That's
yes. I mean, not, aside from the Michael Jordan side, that was so crazy to me when they talk about the whole thing of like, oh yeah, every shoe that's sold, even to this day, every shoe that's sold.
Yeah.
But the fact that he paid this art student like $50, and now it's like, oh hey, we're gonna give you 4% or something small, but it doesn't matter at this point. But
these kids made no money.
Yeah.
These kids made no money. I'm stating it right now.
Yeah.
The girl that made the caricatures of us will make 1% of everything we do in perpetuity.
That THP Jeremy's portion.
Can you comment, Cor?
33% of my 1% of my 33%.
Yeah.
Can you common core math?
No,
1 times 0.
I can't. That I can. 0. Yes, that I can do.
Take on some of the debt that's been incurred to alleviate that.
0 I can do always. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So I found another news story since the time we recorded as well. I found it a little bit later on, but it kind of made me think of the comedy tour, and I'll get to that point there. So this is a high school teacher rapper given ultimatum before firing. So what it is a high school teacher has a side gig of being a rapper.
Is this a boy or girl?
This is a female.
Okay.
She was given an ultimatum basically before being fired. It's like either you erase all your content or you no longer have a job as a teacher and you become a full-time rapper.
This is in Canada as well.
This is not in Canada.
Just trying to clarify
Yeah.
all the details. Okay.
The best Canadian rapper was Snow.
Informer.
Totally.
So no.
You should have that as outro music.
Ooh,
we should.
I like it. Can I get the rights to that?
I think you would pay us to have
A
it on
leaky
there.
boom boom.
Boom boom down.
Please don't lick any boom booms, please.
I do want to mention that her alias was Drippin' Honey.
I'm listening. Please proceed.
So she started teaching.
That was the name of the video that Kyle watched.
It's no longer the video. It's Drippin' Honey.
So basically she was teaching. Nobody knew she was a teacher, obviously, until a parent again found it on the internet somehow. Not sure what she was looking for.
Parents
What?
are the worst.
Right?
Gotta ruin
Complained. Nothing happened. She kept kind of complaining. Finally, it became a thing, and the principal was kind of like, "Hey, this is your choice. Either you're gonna take down your content and teach, or you're gonna not have a job here at the school and probably in the district, and you're a rapper now."
Yeah. What grade and or subject did Drippin' Honey teach?
She was a preparatory high school teacher. That's what it says. Taylor Preparatory
high school.
High school.
It doesn't say what she taught.
No.
Was she teaching in music?
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
Because then she saying
Ah,
alternative way to
maybe.
make music.
So it makes me think of, again, the reason this kind of spoke to me is we went to this comedy tour, right? And so we were talking teachers. So these teachers are comedians. They travel, do comedian things. Again, some of it wasn't, I would say, appropriate for kids, right?
I mean, a lot of it wasn't appropriate, which
Right.
is fine.
Sure.
Which is fine because we're adults
It's made
here,
for teachers,
right?
yeah.
For kids, yeah.
And it's made for the teachers. But I don't see any parents complaining that these comedians are out there.
Well, but that's because there's not a lot of kids going, oh, can't wait to listen to this teacher comedy. This is going to be some real knee slappers. But if Drip and Honey's spitting some fire bars and they want to hear all that and maybe saying some stuff that's controversial and naughty, they might want to hear some of that. And then they're going to repeat it. Nobody's going to repeat the type of folder that they kept their kids' stuff in. So.
Do you want to point out from the article, she won Teacher of the Month at one point in time.
I bet she did.
Prior to finding this out,
That you're like, Drip and Honey's the best.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just kind of was like a weird thing to me. It's like teachers are not allowed to have side gig, and that gets into a different. Thing,
that's a different thing.
Because there's a lot of teachers out there getting fired for other things that they're doing on the internet.
Well, that's what I'm
like.
That gets me to that point.
What are they getting fired for?
The OnlyFans
making movies.
Yeah, exactly.
their own type of sex education movies.
Yes.
And not all of them are sex education teachers, though.
That's true.
I mean, I guess they are on the side. Some of them could be, but. I mean, if you had a side gig making those type of films for educational purposes for as long as it wasn't the district you were in, I mean, it'd probably be fine, right?
That's the movies they're going to show the kids.
This is Mrs. Johnson's. She's teaching sex ed, and then she walks out from behind the TV. Hey, kids. Hey, today we're going to learn about the reproductive system. As you saw in the video.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I don't think that would be. That's probably bad. It couldn't be the same district. That's why I said it'd have to be a different district.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just thinking of teachers' ways for them to make money.
I think you guys eased me into a false sense of this is just going to be a freewheeling discussion on being a teacher husband. And now
we're just saying what not to do, teachers.
What not to do.
Pretty obvious, Jeremy.
Right.
I'm going to have to recuse myself. Man. I got nothing.
That's what I got. That's
So speaking of appreciating teachers,
Speaking of appreciating our teachers.
we decided to put a little contest out there. See how many people are listening to our content. I know we kind of see some stats, and we're pretty impressed with some of them. So thank you very much for
it's
listening.
amazing.
But
Next week is Teacher Appreciation Week.
right,
the whole
Right?
week.
yeah,
No.
There's
The
a
week
day.
following. No, it's the whole week for sure.
It's a day and a week.
It's a day and a week.
So it's like we celebrate them for the week, and then like the day, like they get like extra
No,
celebration.
it's the whole week.
Okay.
Okay, this is funny. So I work at a golf course, and so I get like all these emails from like our corporate thing, like, hey, here's what you should do social media wise for the month. And so then it said like, here's Teacher Appreciation Week or day.
Right.
And so it's like, oh yeah, we should appreciate the teachers who are teaching people how to golf. And I'm like, that is not the same thing. Like, you are grabbing onto something that is not the same thing. Nobody needs golf.
right.
Kids need to learn how to read. Don't
True.
take it from those teachers. It was just such a funny thing. But yeah, no, Teacher Appreciation Week, I think, is like the let's see, what do we got? Like the 7th through the 12th or whatever that is of May. It's not this next week, it's the week following.
Okay.
So I know our school, every day there's like a teacher thing that they're doing for all them. So anyway, so we are doing Teacher Appreciation Week. What we want is teachers to send us an email. Tell us something that's a teacher thing. Tell us something that's a teach your husband's thing. Or just say, hey, you guys are doing great and keep on doing it. And
What's something you want to know about the teacher husband?
don't spend any more money because you're losing money.
Yeah.
It's fine. Send us an email. We're going to pick the first 5 people that send us an email are going to get a $10 Starbucks gift card.
Yeah.
Digitally,
Ooh,
TMT. Digitally sent to them. Just by sending an email, teacherhusbandspodcast at gmail.com.
The Gmail.
The
email.
Gmail email.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, send us something, whatever it is. Even if it's the guy from last time from who I went to college with, and have his wife send something and say,
Yeah.
hey, I listened, but it's not great, and I'll move on.
I've stopped listening now due to some of
But
the content. we
if you want to
discussed.
send me a $10 gift card, that's great.
But then they would never know that if they didn't listen, they would never know to send us the email to get the gift card.
Yes.
That's
So
true.
you
If
guys
they
should probably-
stopped listening,
So everybody should probably just keep listening.
I think
Yeah.
so. I absolutely is the best point.
We're excited to read some of these responses on.
Oh,
On the
with that
next
note,
podcast.
maybe you should give us a name of like your favorite TV character or movie character that we could call you that instead of your real name.
Ooh,
If you're a
that's
if
good.
you're a recurring person, if you like send us
Right.
some stuff and you want to be included on the podcast and have your own
that's
thing.
true. We got a message from, I don't know,
Yeah.
the girl from Hey Dude, Ben Stiller's wife. Ben Stiller's wife was on Hey Dude.
That's true.
She
Yeah.
was.
The Zoolander.
Don't pretend
lady.
like you know.
No, I don't know. I don't know that show, but
He
I know
heard about it.
I know who Ben Stiller's wife is. She was on Zoolander.
She was on Zoolander.
Yeah.
And she was on Hey Dude.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word
I
for
think
it.
Hey Dude is a better outro than, what was the other one?
You can't do that in television with Alanis Morissette.
No,
I
we
don't
were going to
think
do
so.
something else as the outro. I missed it.
Snow Informer.
Yes. All right. So here's the thing. It's going to be Jason, because Jason does all the editing at the end. So he's going to have to do a mashup of Hey Dude and Snow Informer.
Ooh.
Oh man.
And that's it.
Alika boom boom down.
Hey Dude.
Maybe not in that order.
Maybe not.
We might need to make a side gig like a DJ, like they'll
Yeah.
put anything before the drop and it's all hey dude. Beep boop boop.
Oh.
Man.
Well,
So I
I
guess-
don't know how we can trim this one down, because this was a good one and a long one. But we
it
did
long?
it.
What
It was.
15, 20 minutes?
No.
Yep. Times.
Don't look at
Felt
the
like 15, 20
timestamp.
minutes.
All right. We'll be back. Next month, we're going to be talking about what? End of school.
Yeah.
And
Yay.
get ready.
graduations.
June. All of our ladies are going to be on the podcast together with us.
Not May's, June. So 2 from now.
2 from now.
So keep listening.
Keep listening. That's right. You got to keep listening. May's going to be good. End of school. 16 days is all my kids have left of school.
It's wild.
16 days. It's April, and my kids have 16 days left of school.
Ugh. And that's
Crazy.
because they go back to school in
In August.
June 15th.
Yeah.
That's because they don't go to school on Fridays, but that's what it is.
That's
So,
true.
all
That's
right.
true.
Hey, thanks
Send-
everybody for listening.
Send in that email Gmail and get yourself a Starbucks.
teacherhusbandspodcast at gmail.com.
Bye.
Goodbye.
You can't get mad, okay?
Oh no, what did you say?